my mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. Before I second, I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. Oh, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. Before I second, I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeding your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause I'd start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. start here. Cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And now we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Today is July 6th, 2024, 5:06 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello everyone. I said we're doing a members only for the first hour. I don't do a lot of members only, but I need to give back to my members. You guys are what keep me here. So thank you for that, number one. But I don't know if I set it on where only members can see right now and non-members can't, because I want them to where they can see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Anyway, how is everyone doing? Hope you are well wherever you are. Thank you so much, Christina. Really do appreciate it. I finally made a live. Thank you, Justin, for all you do. I enjoy your content. You have a beautiful soul, and that thing is always point. Oh, thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate it. Tasha, thank you, my dear, for becoming a member. Appreciate you, my love. Welcome to the Pearl family. Pearls look amazing on you, darling. They sure do. And thank you so much for 3 months, SRB. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate it. So, oh, thank you, GB. It's very sweet of you. So I had the jacket in members only. I had the jacket back in the day. Oh my God, that brings back so many memories, Tar. That brings back so many memories. So there wasn't a lot going on YouTube, and I was filming some videos, and I thought, let's just do a live. I am constantly trying to learn things in true crime, um, whether it's, statement analysis or whatever, profiling, that kind of stuff. And there's a book that is interesting, and I wanted to read some parts of it. Yes, Bear. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, let's get to that. Let me just tell you about that real quick. Actually, they did find Chloe's unaliver, by the way, in Hendersonville. Uh, Yesterday we spoke about, sorry, Trinity, not Chloe, Trinity Bostic. I apologize. I was reading something. Um, Trinity Bostic yesterday, and we were speaking on her 17 years old, and this was a 17-year-old male, from what I understand. Two 17-year-olds, lives gone essentially forever, especially Trinity's. And they have not named the suspect yet, as because that is under state seal until he will go to adult court. So unless I've been looking to see if there's any speculation, any rumors on a name, but I have not received that at this point. Um, thank you, Bear, for uh, keeping me up to date on this. And there's been a few others as well. Trinity lives in my town. The male lived 20 minutes away from me. He is a minor. Yes, 17 years old as well. It's, 17, 18, 19, I think until you're about 25, you really, things, I think, enrage you even more. You know what I mean? And you don't think of the consequences. You really do think you are invincible, even though when you're 17, 18, till about 25, you think, oh, no. And then when you hit 30, you're like, oh, shit. I am not invincible. I am a mortal like everybody else. And I think this was probably something very heated. Uh, I don't know if there was perhaps a romantic relationship taking place, something got out of hand, but it is shocking to see a 17-year-old unalive another 17-year-old and throw her body along the side like she was yesterday's garbage. These are human beings. We do not value life anymore. I don't know what the hell is going on in this world, but um I guess I feel like an old soul, but that's fine by me. Um we just don't value life and relationships like we used to as a society. Everything is so temporary. Throw it away. You don't agree with me, throw you away. It's so bizarre the way things have changed in the last I don't know, you know, I say since 2000, but probably since maybe 2005, 2007, things really started to change. I think social media was a big factor of that, to be quite honest with you. But uh, I don't know. I digress. But Trinity has a family, and her family are grieving the loss of this young, bright girl. I did see some of her former classmates today speak. There was a person, a boy who went to school with her, had a picture of her on her bus and said she was just the sweetest person and would not harm a fly. So, really sad, really sad, really sad. And, every human life has tremendous value. There are some out there that are just plain evil. And it's really our decision making that, really changes your worth or not, right? But for the most part, I believe most people are good. Most people are good or at least decent. And every human being has a gift, a talent, something that only you have as an individual. God only gave it to you for a very short time. You get so many trips around the sun, and then it's over. And then we're replaced. We're replaced by our children. And my heart breaks for a mother and a father who have lost a child, because that is the greatest loss you could ever face in this life. That's the greatest loss. There is nothing like it. It's not the way it's supposed to be, but that's just the way it is sometimes. And my heart really goes out to Trinity's family right now. They need some prayers. And I've heard the mom has already been uh struggling even before this. So I can't imagine. Can't imagine. So our prayers go to them. All right. Um yeah, and that's exactly right, Trishy. And Trishy, you are in that club, my dear, and I I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I know several of you have lost a child, and you are just amazing, every single one of you. Every single one. So, I'm was reading going through this book, and hold on one sec. All right, sorry about that. Um Need to move this fan a little bit. So, I'm looking at this book, and I thought it might give us some ideas about what they call, and I'm not saying this for truly any specific, and I don't want to say homicide or anything like that because we have no idea on the cases that we've been recently covering um, what it is. But how the police look at things whenever they have a when they don't have the person's remains and they still uh, charge them. And somebody had told me about this, and the book is called it's really talking about how um things that they check things that they check. Thank you, princess. And I wanted to go over some stuff because it may give us some ideas on some of these things. um Let me see if I can find it. You'll have to bear with me, guys. So it says one of the key elements of a non-body, no-body murder investigations is victimology. In any murder investigation, the victimology, that is, what type of person is the victim, is essential to solving a case. But it is also essential in trying to locate a body. An investigation of a known street prostitute or drug addict is much different than the investigation of a hardworking mother of three. Note, I did not say that one investigation is more important than the other. All murder victims deserve the same level of investigation, resources, and dedication, no matter who they were or what their stature in life is. Knowing the victimology is critical to your investigation. On the right track in a nobody case, victimology is even more important because, again, your investigation focuses on not only who committed the unaliving, but also proving that a unaliving occurred, right? So the victimology, who is this person? Are they a low risk victim, a medium, or a high risk victim? Um, Someone, and again, I'm not saying anyone unalived anyone. We're saying this. I would say, like, for Summer Wells, um, she would be like a medium, lower on the higher. I would say probably a medium uh, in the victimology, and Sebastian would be on the very low side of things. And just because that it is low or it's medium doesn't mean it can't happen, right? So, but it gets interesting because it gets into the cell phones and stuff. Um, Remember that every victim has a victimology that can help prove he or she is unalive. When it is easy to prove the death of most individuals who have a well-worn path of obligation, such as families, jobs, friends, etc. Even the most down-to-earth victim has habits and patterns, family and friends. The absence of these patterns can demonstrate just as conclusively that a person is unalive as someone missing work or an important family milestone, right? And whenever, we speak of these things, right? So, something, that happens to a child, well, they don't go to work or anything, right? But what they do is they still everyone has habits, right? And whenever they are out of their social norm, that brings to question. If someone says, "Oh, he went outside with his bare feet," and I kind of touched on this last night. Well, did he often go outside with his bare feet? And the answer is not really. No, he supposedly did not care for, you know, bare feet, his foot touching the ground. Now, in Summer's case, that is something that she went a lot with. She went barefoot a lot. So that is not out of the ordinary for Summer. It is with Sebastian, however, right? So, one, it is something that one of them would do. It's how they lived, it's how um, they were raised, and the other one is not, right? Because they may have this um, because it could be because of something that happened in the past, like the ants, or it could be something uh to do with his being autistic, or it could just be he doesn't like for his feet to touch the ground. So there's that. um Let me see here. All right, let me skim through this for 1 second. um let's see here. The initial detective assigned to this case, the absence of the pattern can demonstrate just as conclusively that a person is unalive as someone missing work, or okay, I already read that. In a no body case I tried, my victim was an alcoholic and possible DRUG user who was not employed. The initial detective assigned to this case dismissed her sister who reported the disappearance, and therefore by extension the victim was they were calling her a bad name. In fact, she had 5 children of whom she cared deeply, and we demonstrated that she had missed their birthday and holiday when she had never done so before. We also showed that while she had disappeared in the past, it had been for brief periods, shorter than a day or two, and even then had told someone in her family where she was. Her missing these important holidays was proof to the injury that she was likely deceased. One of the most important moments of my trial was the testimony of the victim's 12-year-old daughter, who testified that her mother had never missed her birthday or Christmas until she went missing, right? So, we can uh speak about that. Would it be something that Sebastian would Sebastian want to go without his phone or his Nintendo for this long? And the answer is probably not. What kid would, growing uh growing up in today's society? Every kid, 15-year-old kid wants their phone, they want their Nintendo, they want their computer. They're not going to leave it, right? Just like, when you leave the house, you're going to take your purse, or you're going to take your wallet, um, your license. And if someone came to your house and your phone or your wallet or your purse was at the house, they would they would know something is up, right? It's their lifeline. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So So, compiling a person's victimology should be a formal process. As with other processes in a no body unaliving, an investigator should take the time to gather him or her team, if they have one, gather in a room and go over everything the team knows about the victim's lifestyle, including work, life, and social life, hobbies, interests, etc. By formally listing all of these factors, it lets the team brainstorm on possible locations of a body and possibly evidentiary leads. I have found it very effective to use the form of brainstorming because it plays to the strengths and the diversity of the group's life experience. I would note too that having a diversity of investigators is also essential to an investigation. If you have only male detectives brainstorming about a missing female, trust me, you're going to miss a lot. If you have some females in the room, there's also nothing wrong with adding the opinions and views of other police employees to your formal victimology process. So, this just goes to show you that, whenever police is providing for a victimology, uh, they're constantly brainstorming just like you and I. Now, they have greater resources than you and I, but nonetheless, it's great. I have it in the description. Hey Jude, I don't know at the moment, to be honest with you. Um, there was uh something here that I wanted to show. Mm, bear with me. I'm trying to find. Okay, here we go. Maybe it's one up here, just a little bit. All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see. By So they're talking about the no body unaliving convictions in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and Virgin Islands. By comparison, according to the FBI in 2019, there was 16,425 murders nationwide. The national closure rate was just 50%. Think about that. Out of 16,000 unalivings, only 50% was closed. That is frightening as of 2019. Which could mean the death of a suspect before the arrest or a justifiable unaliving with no arrest. In only 8,213 cases, if only 10% of these cases go to trial, then that is at least 820 unaliving trials occur per year across the nation. Moreover, the number of unalivings in 2019 was above many prior years. So conservatively, there could be an average of 700 unaliving trials per year. In the last 20 years, that would mean more than 14,000 trials. Thus, even with the advent of modern forensics, no-body cases that go to trial remain incredibly rare. Um, So let me find here. This is talking about like finding remains and the decomposition process and all that stuff. I don't want to talk about that. Um, where was it about the phones and this stuff like that? The problem outlines. So historically, the problem outlined often meant that a unaliving ability to successfully dispose of a person, and in a no body case, 91% of the time, the unaliving is a he who would get away with unaliving someone. So, of the earliest successful no body unaliving cases, involved only the most obvious unalivings, such as ships returning from sea minus their captain or crew member. Yeah, that would be one way you could really know, an unaliving. You come back from sea and your captain's not there, right? I mean, I guess you could say he fell over, but off the boat. But uh, so let me see here. I should have marked this. Hmm. Today, thankfully, here, I think here it is. Investigation purposes truly disappearing is nearly impossible. Each day for us leaves in our wake an incredibly accurate electronic trail. From the time we wake up in the morning, from the time we go to bed, we touch an endless number of electronic processes that leave an incredible mark in the ether. From Facebook to Twitter, now X, to Instagram, to ATMs, to easy passes, GPS locators in our car and phones, we leave a trail of indelible as footprints in cement. There are closed circuit cameras which monitor our vehicle speed, our adherence to stoplights, our purchases, and whether uh, and when we show up to work or nick supplies from the supply closet. We are watched, recorded, surveilled, and downloaded scores of times per day. Putting aside whatever privacy concerns one might legitimately have, as an investigator, the data is a gold mine, and this is main reason, aside from forensic advances such as DNA, that building a no body case is easier today than ever before. All of this data, such as cell phone records, credit card transactions, or time clocks at work, is the mother's milk of an investigation. The key of any nobody investigation is known what information to get, how to get it, where to get it, and then getting it quickly before it disappears. When I first started teaching classes on how to investigate and prosecute no body cases, I used to say these cases are like a 100-meter sprint. When the unaliver starts to do a 30-meter mark, having worked on the cases for now over 15 years, I think a marathon analogy is more appropriate. These cases are like a marathon when the unaliver starts at the mile 13. Even the fastest marathoner who can cover 26.2 miles in just under 2 hours would not defeat even a relatively pedestrian runner needing the same 2 hours and over 9 minutes per mile pace to cover half the distance. Not having a body, as shown above, is a huge handicap, but a handicap that can be overcome through methodical, patient, and creative investigation. A no murder can and will doubtlessly be the most challenging case of your career. There are 4 um, appendices in this book that, okay, let me find this here. Is a checklist of investigator of nobody cases that are covered. Okay, 1 second. Appendix B is a keyword list that tries the evidence key at the end of this case. Okay. Appendix D provides a model search warrant taken from a case I consulted on. Okay. Since it is an advantage to a unaliver to dispose of a person's remains, however, there is no end to the creativity such as to do so. Unalivers have thrown remains out of airplanes into the ocean, pushed them off ships into the sea, and dumped them into canals. They have buried remains deep in the woods, thrown them into landfills, and dumped them on grounds where they are left to remain. I have to kind of switch the words around sometimes. Defendants have uh, uh, put victims into furnaces in the victim's own home on they have okay, I gotta be careful with what I say on some of these. One victim tried to eliminate his victim sulfuric acid while another boiled his wife in his sausage plant. Can you imagine? He had a man, or this man put his wife in his sausage plant. The hell's wrong with people, man? That's crazy. So let me see. Think about that the next time you gobble down a breakfast link. That's what the book says. Ugh. Dumpsters, landfills, and large bodies of water are perpetual resting places. Hiding his victim's body in a beaver hut on his stepfather's property. It says, let me see here. I have to kind of go over some things, but I know some of you will be interested in this book. This person says, my research has shown that the most common way to dispose of someone's remains is digging a hole in the ground big enough to completely cover and make someone, to bury someone. And make it deep enough to escape detection from both man and particularly a cadaver dog is difficult. A hole let me make sure. My research shows me that the most common way to dispose of remains is to bury them by digging a hole in the ground big enough and completely cover a body and make it deep enough to escape detection from both man and beast, particularly a cadaver dog, is difficult. Okay. And forget about it if unaliving happens in the winter when the ground is frozen. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. So, for instance, if there would be foul play in, you know, Sebastian's case or Summer's case, just using those two as an example, February, the ground is cold. June, the ground is warm, right? So that may be a more important way you could look for someone, right? If the ground is cold, Shannon, you're funny. We moved from a two-story apartment today, just an apartment down, but it was so hot. Oh my goodness, Daisy Love. I don't think sausage. I don't like sausage. I don't eat pork, so it doesn't bother me. Rivers and lakes don't freeze. And that's exactly right. Rivers, lakes don't freeze. Um, in my opinion, you would look for, the two in different potential scenarios, right? Don't know. Okay. Um, but before the advent of backhoes, excavators, and mechanical digging machines, most cemeteries did not bury bodies in the winter because it was too difficult to manually dig a hole. Throwing an unweighted remains into the water does not always work as the disposal method because as a body decomposes, it releases things, I'll just say. Um, as compared to, all right. Uh, and okay, so you know how people always say cremation, cremation, cremation? It drives me nuts, to be quite honest with you. Uh, Don made the remark, yeah, that's so awful, wasn't it? Hey, June. But, I have worked in funeral homes and I've seen a lot of cremations, and it's not an easy task to do if you don't have the right stuff. So this kind of talks about that. Uh, Cremation requires temperatures at least 1400 to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, and even then, bones fragments can remain behind. There have been a number of cases where remains have been attempted to be, cremated, but important evidence was left behind. Um, for instance, defendants Bo Burks, Ryan Duke, I guess that's a case in a pecan orchard. Um, let's see here, and Raymond. Needless to say, it is very uh, difficult to effectively dispose of someone's remain through burning, giving the extremely high temperatures also needed. Yes. Now, like in, if you go to India, and you go to the Ganges River, if you've ever been to India, there are places in India where, when you die, uh, you are cremated by the holy Ganges River. And that is someone that is constantly there, and it takes an obscene amount of time. And they also, it's not just one remain, when they become fragments and ashes, they put the ashes in the Ganj, their holy river, right? So, like I said, it can be done, but it's something that is going to, when someone is unalived, it's not something you anyone would want to do, because it leaves it would leave so much, type of DNA behind. And B, it would take a significant amount of time. Blue eyes, what's wrong? Oh my goodness, honey. Praying for your brother. My friend husband fell in the Mississippi River in Memphis during the end of January. It took 3 months for his body to surface. I think they need to do flyovers of the waterway areas. How far away was he found, Blue Jeans? After 3 months? Oh, is he gonna be okay? Praying for you, dear, your brother. Hey, little red. Hey, little red. Do they drink out of that river? Some do. Yes. It's a holy river for them. So, um, let's see here. One of the biggest mistakes made in a no body investigation is to treat the case like a missing persons case for too long. That's interesting. Uh, let's see here. A study in England showed that 1 in 7,400 missing person cases end in unalivings. But 1 of 34 unalivings starts as a missing person case. Obviously, not every missing person turns into an unaliving case. Indeed, the vast majority do not, but many unaliving starts with HOMICIDE when I say unaliving, y'all. Cases start off as a missing persons case, and in any case where there is suspicion that a person may be unalive and not just missing, on the side of treating it as err on the side of treating it as a HOMICIDE. Right? So, and I think that is what they should do. I think, like, especially like TBI and stuff, like the moment a child goes missing, everything needs to be cleared. Like that house needs to be cleared until you know a little bit more what's going on. Just my opinion. All right. We got about 5 more minutes before we turn off the members only. Let's see here. But unaliving cases start off as a missing person, and in any case where there is suspicion that a person may be unalive and not just missing, err on the side of treating it as a homicide. It is better to treat the missing person turn up alive during a homicide investigation than to learn your victim is unalive during a missing person investigation. The scope of these two investigations is vastly different in terms of the resources called upon, methods used, and the skill level of the investigator assigned to the case. Ideally, a police department homicide detectives are among the most experienced detectives on the force. If you want them early on, if there is any indication that a missing case is really a side. The previous paragraphs beg the question, though, how do you know when and how potential sides and not just a missing person? Here are some of the factors to look at when making the crucial call. Yeah, the remains found in Tennessee is on the it's almost in Virginia. It's really, really far from uh how old is the victim? In 2021, there were 521,000 reported missing, and only 12% were adult females. In recent years, about 80% of missing people are under 21 years old. 80% in recent years are under 21 years old. What gender is the victim? 58% of no body unaliving victims are female. Has victim gone missing before? If yes, then it's more likely they are just missing. If not, then they could be more likely to be deceased. What, if anything, was left behind? The more personal items left behind, purse, wallet, cell phone, medication, credit card, ATM keys, etc., the less likely the victim is just missing. Did the victim have any immediate future plans, work, school, meetings, etc.? Who reported the victim missing and when? When was the person's closest to the victim? Uh, who reported the victim missing and when? Was it the person closest to the victim or last saw him or her or someone more distant? The lack of reporting by someone close to the victim should be cause for suspicion. What is the appearance of the last known location the victim was seen? tidy, messy, too tidy, indication of cleaning. There are things in a missing person's life that speak to the unlikelihood of leaving. Strong connection to job, children, caring for parents, etc. Walking through these questions and let's see here. Again, most missing person cases are just that. In 2012, for example, less than 1% of missing persons did ultimately turn up alive, right? 99% of people who go missing turn up alive at some point. It's the 1%. 1%. And it's like in non-familiar abductions, right? There is only a handful, just a handful of non-familiar abductions every year. Okay. Let me see here. So guys, this book is called No Body Homicide Cases, a practical guide to investigating, prosecuting, and winning cases when the victim is missing, by Thomas A. Tad DeBayes. Let's see if he's here on YouTube. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I think our hour is up. All right, we can let subscribers in. Hopefully they can view us. So sad, we all know the truth but without Sebastian, we can't. Yeah, a lot of people will not, a lot of prosecutors will not do no bodies, right? So, that's just another thing that's why it's so important of, now if you have enough evidence, right? Let me see here. Oh, look at this. Give me 1 second, yeah. Debates. I want to see something right here. Sorry, I got my window open, y'all.
The number one place was burial.
This is him.
The number two place was disposing it in a body of water, and I think the number three was dumpster. And
number 1, burial. Number 2, body of water. And number 3, dumpster, according to this author. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let me see here. Wait. Well, crap. This is... Sorry, I'm trying to pull up something. Bear with me, guys. This is the guy right here.
Crime with the Sarge. I'm your host, Joseph Jackalone. We have an unbelievable guest here today. We're going to introduce him in about a minute. Just wanted to go.
1 second.
Hi, everybody.
Guys, make sure you sub up to this guy. I like this guy's name is Gia. How do you pronounce his last name? I hate. Okay, I was way off. Joseph Giacalone. I want to drop his link in chat. I guess he's a true crime guy, and he's talks a lot in true crime. He's got a book out, Retired NYPD Sergeant. Okay. Do you know him? I haven't heard of him till recently. Yeah, make sure you check out this book. We're going to go over it more. I was looking if they had the Audible version so I could play it. But I don't believe they did. But it's called No Body Homicide Cases, a practical guide to investigating, prosecuting, and winning cases when the victim is missing. So there's that. I was trying to say, Justin Mods, thank you for being here. These other channels are getting so bad. Oh, well, you know what? If we're here for true crime, let's be here for true crime, right? Just do your thing. You know, I don't worry about what anyone else does. You know, not my circus, not my monkeys. So thank you so much, my dear. When you opened it to subscribers only, the watching number went from 670 to 650-ish. YouTube's weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know. So I don't know what's wrong with it. Is there a new discovery? So there is. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, my dear. There is remains that was found in very, very eastern part of Tennessee, almost in Virginia and North Carolina, I believe. So I don't think it's, in my guess, it's probably nothing like that. The fake Seth account is already trolling the. So Seth is going to be live tonight, by the way. Going to be live at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And let's see what's it called. Seth Rogers. Let me see what it's. Let me see if I can find his channel. It's called Sebastian Wayne Update Tennessee. Here, I'll show you. Hopefully he's doing good. Hopefully he's recovering well. Look at this.
We've all heard stories of 20 and 30-year-old kids who can't afford to buy a house and even can't afford rent and are moving back.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy. Okay, now here is little Sebastian. Right here. And let me tell you something. I'm not just saying this, but he outshines those kids there. He is dancing, singing it up, and he is amazing. So watch Sebastian shine right here where my mouse is. Second to the last, right here. The little blondies.
Jumping.
Bless his heart.
Hey, what?
Hey, what? Sorry. Don't yell at me, lady. Do you ever talk back to your television? Yeah, he was the second on. You can zoom if you're on your phone, Lolo, you can zoom. If Katie can watch that without crying, she is colder than ever. Listen, I think I don't know, man. It's really tough. It's really tough. You know what I mean? Like, damn. This case, it feels like Summer Wells 2.0, and it just feels like too close together. Yeah. You can't help but see Sebastian. He commands attention. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, he is absolutely just like any other kid there. Just like any other kid. Look at this picture. He's just like any other kid there. He may have right here. He may just have a little bit more energy, maybe. But that's okay. That means he's a rock star. Sweet tea video. He was silly and fun. Couldn't stand him to be happy. Yeah. I love when he helps the girl next to him with her sweater. Yes. Oh, that's so cute, Daisy Love. That's so cute. And this is what, breaks my heart for Seth, is this is his only child. And will probably, you know, only be his only child ever, you know? And I just can't imagine the hell that he goes through, not knowing, right? Knowing your kid so well. Can you imagine being in that position? Knowing your kid so well, knowing they would never go outside on their own in the middle of the night without shoes, right? Without their phone, without anything. And then your ex-wife and her husband says he did. But you know your kid. And then you know that already in your heart. And then the police says, well, we didn't pick up a scent. There isn't a video with Sebastian walking down the street. No, Chris and Katie were not at this performance. It was Seth at this performance. Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes, Mohawk, it does. In all those interviews, she doesn't walk through finding the phone on the counter and how she felt about that. That's a great point, Trishy. That's a great point. Yeah. I don't believe he did. I don't believe it. And I probably will never believe it unless there is some actual evidence that comes out that says he did. And a lot of people will say, well, you don't have evidence. And I say, that's the entire point. That is the entire point. There is no evidence of him leaving. He didn't take his shoes. He didn't take his phone. He took a flashlight. You know, when kids, if they're going to run off or something, they usually pack their backpack with, things that are their favorite things. Right? That's the entire point. There is nothing to suggest that this child has ran away. Linda, to the office, please. Linda, to the office. Second late slip this week, Linda.
Katie! Oh, Katie! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Oh, Grace!
Oh, God. I still say he left with help with Oh, I think so too, Lolo. Or at 3 o'clock in the morning, my dog is howling. Carmelita, I know you like those chickens. In my humble opinion, if he would have left on his own, he would have taken at least his phone, if only to call Seth and say, "Dad, please pick me up." Yeah, I think so too. I mean, there was, I mean, it's like clear as day that he didn't walk out. In my opinion, like it's clear as day. Like, what kid's gonna do that? I love his chickens. You can tell he's looking for his dad making the video. Yes, exactly. Most cases where phones were left behind don't end well. That's right, Maxine. That's right. To make a run to the market. To market, to market. He knew the way his dad's to his dad's. He didn't call Seth or go to Seth's house. Yeah. I love looking at Sebastian's huge grin as he sees his daddy. Yes. I think they disappeared him into the place to reform. Oh, I was Elbow's mom, but I would just about say highly unlikely, in my opinion. I hope you're right. God, I would hope you're right. Stanton only has a phone that works on Wi-Fi, and he would never leave his phone at home. Yep. I love watching Sebastian enjoy life. Yes, me too. I do not think Sebastian knows the phone number. Most children just hit the person's eye. Yes. They didn't have to you remember when we used to have to remember numbers? Remember numbers or look in a phone book. You know, give a kid a rotary phone now and they're like, what the hell's that? Right? Hey, April. Law enforcement found the football player kid in a group after parents reported him missing. Law enforcement found the football player. Yes, that is true. Phone books. Yes, the phone books. They say he walked out front, but his shoes were right there. Right. Bull crap. But, just that little bit that we read there, that makes me think, remembering what time of year it was. I'm not going to go over what temperature it was that night or anything, but what was the average temperature in Hendersonville? Oh, February 2024 weather temperature. Okay. All right. So the average, I would say, in February was, during the daytime, I would say the average was 50, 55 degrees. And I would say the average low would be 30. The average high and the average low. So you can get hypothermia at 60? Really? There should be at least that they can go through, and if they answer the questions, that they close the. It's way too late for that. Way too late. So I don't think the ground would be frozen. Would it, if it's like that? Thank you, Tina. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my love. Enjoy being part of the Pearl family. We love having you, my dear. We certainly do. Get super cold in Tennessee. It can be 20. Sometimes be 20. Yeah. Oh, it absolutely can. Yes. It was mild for February. Yeah. There is no evidence. Should have law enforcement looking into it more. It's a travesty. Doesn't just get justice because they have to know he didn't leave on his own accord. Yes. Justin, you have to take into account that Sebastian does not live in the city. He lives in a subdivision outside the city. Yes. That is true. Hey, Laugh a Day. In my opinion, I feel there will be a break when F goes back home. You think so? Fusions, love what you do. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you. To a different jurisdiction. I don't think it falls into a different jurisdiction. I don't know. We'll have to see. But guys, I will be back in a little bit. I need to go get something to eat and get some energy. I need some caffeine or something. I'm dragging. I've been filming all freaking day. Please. Yes, Cynthia, we will keep you in your prayers, my dear. Absolutely. Everything's gonna be fine. You're not gonna feel a thing. Need some snacks. Yes. Yes, I do need some snacks. Just restarting. I will be live here in a little bit. I have more energy. Hopefully. You know, if you sit here for so long, like my energy level goes like, I gotta get up. Like I gotta get up and move a little bit. And then I've got energy again. Right? Yeah, I need some coffee or something. All right, guys. Loves. Long times. Mwah. I'll see y'all laters. I will be live probably hour and a half. Loves.